Hello, hello, hello. How are you? This is Coach Tanya, excuse me, with the Trauma Recovery Room presenting Tarot with a Twist and how I'm introducing Akashic Record reading and Akashic Record Oracle readings to my line of reading activities. So today I'm going to talk to you about what Akashic Records are and how they can be used to get you through the dark night of the soul and your spiritual awakening process. So, before I get started, of course, I like to introduce myself. My name is Tanya K. Austin, better known as Coach Tanya slash Tanya the Tarot Lady. And Tarot with a Twist is a business that I actually started almost a year, well, a little less than a year ago, probably about 8 months, maybe about 8 months ago. And I discovered tarot along the way of my path of trying to fix and heal my broken relationship or marriage at the time. I'm actually now divorced partly because of my growth and understanding the tarot and how I allowed it to guide me through my troubled times. Now, I wasn't fully aware during that time about Akashic Records. I had an Akashic Record reading done myself, not an oracle reading, but an actual Akashic Record reading. And it was very intriguing to me how she knew intuitively from simply asking me a few questions what was going on in my life. So from that experience, I knew that there was some truth to it. I knew that since it gave me a different thought process about my life, and I often reverted back to the information that she gave me, it helped me to guide myself. And again, on my discovery of trying to heal a broken relationship, I found all kinds of fascinating spiritual aspects to healing that I never knew about. So, because of all of that, in addition to learning spiritual awakening, about karmic ties and soul ties and twin flames and all of that stuff. So, because I was so intrigued by it, I of course went soul searching, clearing my mind of a lot of things. And just recently, I decided to join forces with the other Akashic Record readers because, again, I know the power behind the Akashic Records, and I also know the power behind oracle readings. And there are many people that are not aware of what the Akashic Records are, and there are many people that believe in the false myths about tarot and oracle readings. So I am definitely here to answer some questions, explain a few things for you so that you can get a better understanding of what the Akashic Records are and how you can use them to help you to recover from the emotional trauma that you've suffered from in your past. So before we begin, I'm going to take a 30-second break. And while I'm taking that break, go ahead and grab yourself a pen and paper because you're going to take some notes. I'm going to give you 10 words that we're going to define. Then I'm going to give you a little lecture about Akashic Records, and then we'll go from there. So I will be back in 30 seconds, I promise. Okay, welcome back. Welcome back. I told you, I promised 30 seconds. Okay, so we're going to get started. So this is somewhat of a webinar. It is going to give you knowledge. It is going to give you an understanding of what the Akashic Records are, how you can use them. And then at the end, I'm going to tell you how you can gain access to your Akashic Records through me as your Akashic Record reader. So the dark night of the soul, I'm going to talk about first, which is the emotional trauma part. So the dark night of the soul is what we call, or what I like to refer to as your flashlight, your spiritual flashlight, or your internal flashlight to the dark places of your soul. So what the dark night of the soul does, it helps you to complete your spiritual awakening process. And what the spiritual awakening process is, it is just you becoming awakened. And this is one of your definitions, spiritual. This is actually your first one, spiritual awakening. It is actually you becoming awakened by the truth of your spirit. So the truth of your spirit, you are now becoming aware of what it is that you're supposed to do, who it is you're supposed to be, and how it is that you're supposed to live. And what this spiritual awakening does is it is triggered typically by stressful situations, mostly. I know my experience, and when I was doing my research and talking to a lot of people, the spiritual awakening process is triggered by a challenge or difficulty. Sometimes it is actually triggered in the midst of your bliss. Why do you ask that trouble, spiritual uproar, and awakening would happen when you're in a blissful state? That is because you are wearing a mask. You're not living the life that you're supposed to be living. Perfect example. I was self-employed before I started to do this. I had another business. It was actually called Tanya's Full of Services. So I provided transportation services. What they do for Lyft and Uber, I was doing then. I was providing grocery delivery. So what they're doing with Shipt and Instacart and picking up groceries, I was doing that then. I was doing hair. I was braiding little girls' hair. I was cooking food. I had a small catering company. What else was I doing? And I had my um, publishing company as well, where I was doing my books and things like that. But all of those things, and I also was doing home health care through the state of Michigan. I was a vendor, you could say, for taking care of the elderly, and I got paid really good money for that. Really, I had one client per week paid $800, and I had multiple clients. The thing is, I had different clients in each particular department of my business, making good money. The point is, I was making good money, but my spiritual awakening told me to let all of that go. Foolishly, of course, I fought it and I thought it was the devil. But when I realized that it was a reason for all of that and that it was divinely guided, then I surrendered to it. And again, even during the surrendering process, it was a little bit challenging, which made the outcome of the predicted situation to be a challenge as well. But the spiritual awakening was me getting to a place where having money was still not pleasing. Having my own this, my own that, and having established all of that still was not satisfying me. So what the spiritual awakening does is it wakes you up to that fact. It shows you through the dark night of the soul that you're not happy. The things, because at the end of the dark night of the soul, when you get through your spiritual awakening process, you're a completely different person, and you could completely look back and see how you were not whole and complete. So the spiritual awakening and the dark night of the soul are designed to get you to be everything you need to be. Again, it's an internal flashlight into your dark places. So again, that's your first definition. So spiritual awakening, when you have become awakened by the truth of your spirit. Next is the soul. The soul is your subconscious mind that knows your truth. Its ultimate goal is to increase you, to make you better, to improve you, to help you to grow, to spiritually grow. And it is what connects you to the divine. Now, when you are going through that spiritual awakening and the dark night of the soul taps you on the shoulder, that is the subconscious part of your mind that's connected to the divine. That's why the dark night of the soul, it's name, because it is in the nighttime, in the dark, where we're dreary. And it is in that season where we cry and where we moan. But it is also, and even a scripture in the Bible, where you cry at night and you find joy in the morning. The dark night of the soul, throughout that dark period or that dark night, so to speak, it's leading you to the daylight, which is the light, which is the freedom in your subconscious mind being free from the trauma. So the spiritual awakening is when you've become awakened to the truth of your spirit. The soul is the subconscious mind that knows your truth. So the truth of your spirit, the soul knows that. And the soul is what's connected to the divine. Spirit is the energetic vibration that reflects your soul. So it's your aura. It reflects outwardly what you believe to be true in your mind inwardly. So as you can see, the spiritual awakening is connecting the soul and the spirit so that they can become one, because the truth of your spirit is the oneness of your spirit. So the dark night of the soul helps you to become one with your spirit. It is a good thing. Then we have karmic wounds or karmic lessons. So karmic lessons are lessons that have added up for you that you have to pay the price for, so to speak, as a part of your life story. So karmic wounds are lessons that have added up for you to pay at some point in your life. This also includes your thoughts. That is why they say, be careful what you even think. Be careful what you say. Be careful what you do. Be careful what you think, because those things create karmic lessons for you to be able to live out while you're here. Then number 5, you have karmic ties. Now, karmic ties is the energetic vibration that keeps you stuck in the vortex of a karmic wound, which is a traumatic past experience. So the karmic tie energetically keeps you stuck in the vortex of the trauma and the karma that was produced from the trauma. Then you have soul contract. A soul contract is your soul's agreed upon contract. So when we all came here to this earth, we had an agreement with the creator of how we were going to be. We knew everything that we were going to get into. It was our contract. With that contract comes the soul that we'll possess when we're here on this earth. And remember, the soul is the subconscious mind that knows your truth. So the soul contract is an agreed upon contract of how you will be while you're here on earth. It holds pending karmic lessons. And again, karmic lessons are those lessons that are added up for you to pay at some point in your life. And they also create them. It's also when you create karmic lessons that you'll have to pay for later. So the soul contract is filled with all of the karmic experiences that you'll go through in your life. Again, it's agreed upon because you know the ending of your story before you get here. It's when you get here that all of that is erased and you have to go through the journey of life to get back to where you first started. Now, during this process, you have masters, guides, teachers, angels to help you along the way. They are the divine powers that are placed in that soul contract that are going to help you along your journey here on life. So when you have that feeling that there's a higher power something greater than you, a force outside of you moving things for you. Those are your masters, your guides, your spirit guides, and things of that nature. Higher powers of beings, or the divine powers, those are representative of God, your creator. So these would be those that God put in place for you, those spiritual forces that God put in place for you with your soul contract, that have divine powers that help you on your journey while you're here. Then again, you have the Akashic records, which holds all of the above within it. So everything that I just talked about, the spiritual awakening, the soul, the spirit, the karmic wounds, the lessons, the soul contract, the master's guide, karmic ties, all of that is located in what is called your Akashic records. It is also known as your personal book of life. It is only available to you, however, in a spiritual or a higher dimension. That is why you have masters, guides, and teachers who are in that higher dimension that will divinely guide you through what it is that you're here on the third dimension. So the book of life, the Akashic records, has information. So it's like your future life, your future mind. It's sending messages. Your future mind is sending messages to your present mind that are going to help you resolve the issues of your past mind. So those things that you are to have in the future, they're being revealed to you in the Akashic records, in the third dimensional human mindset form, so that you can understand what it is that you need to do here in the third dimension. But the information itself is coming from the spiritual guides in the fifth dimension. And that's the divine connection. And that's why it's important for you to heal from your pain, because when you've healed from your pain, you've changed your mind. And when your mind is changed, you can change the game of life. So again, the Akashic records holds all of the above: the masters, guides, teachers, the soul contracts, the karmic ties, karmic lessons, spirit, soul, spiritual awakening. All of that information about you, your life, is in this book called the Akashic records. And it is information that is coming from the divine. Same thing with the guardian angels. Now, the guardian angels help guide your spiritual path. They were sent with you as well on your journey. They represent your future mind, which is where your hopes, dreams, and visions lie. They know what's best for you. And when you are blind to what's really going on in your present mind, in your present life, conscious mind, what you're seeing, then the guardian angels become your clear vision. So they help you to maneuver your mindset. They help you to maneuver or to change, transform your mindset. The masters, angels, the masters, guides, and teachers, they're here as well, but they're directing the guardian angels. Okay. So then you have the Akashic oracle reading. Now, this gives you the divine insight as well. It is designed to give you clarity on what source, guides, angels have already told you. So you get your Akashic records, you get the information, those things that are unclear to you. Then you will get your Akashic oracle reading so that you can put the puzzle pieces together. So why are all these words being understood so important? Because they remove the emotions from the matter at hand. So you can see things clearly and make better choices for your life and for yourself. These words, knowing these words, help you to discern when to use emotion and when to use the mind to get through something. So what does all these words have to do with trauma and your recovery from trauma? 3 reasons. Number 1, all of the past experiences you've gone through were for a divine reason. Therefore, you know for a fact that they're being used to lead you somewhere specific. So you know that these reasons you're going through all of this, or you understand the guardian angels and how they work. You now know what a soul contract is. All of that, when you get your Akashic records and you get your readings, all of that can begin to make sense, because there's going to be some information in your reading and in your records that's going to complement what it is that's really going on in your life. Number 2, knowledge is power. It gives you the confidence you need, and not a false bravado confidence that's based off of some external success, but confidence based off of internal or innate success, which means you were capable of pulling it off for real this time. So knowledge is power, and power gives you confidence. When you have confidence, you can walk through any journey much better and come out much better. Number 3, it gives you some internal peace of mind. So it gives your mind some peace. It feels good when you have faith in the problem being solved. The promises of God are real. He says that he blessed us with 4 gifts. So the Bible talks about, and I don't know, I can't remember. I think it's Galatians first. I think it might be Galatians. I can't remember. But the Bible talks about God giving us, not giving us the spirit of fear, but rather the spirit of love, power, and of a sound mind. So if you add him having not giving you the spirit of fear, the first spirit or gift that he gave you would be fearlessness. And having fearlessness, that is you being able to confront all demonic entities. So knowing your soul contract, the things that you're supposed to experience in life, when you meet said experiences, you'll know that your guardian angels are with you. You'll know that you're divinely guided. You'll know that the dark night of the soul is with you. And it may be tough as hell, but you'll know. Therefore, you can trust, your faith can increase, and you won't have the fear. And you'll be brave and bold enough to go forward in your search for healing, because we are magnets, and the further we run away from something, the faster it chases us. The more we run towards it, the further it gets away from us. So the fearlessness is you being able to confront all demonic entities. What are demonic entities? Anything that is not of God or love. So anything that is demonic, the opposite of that is love. Therefore, God is love. So anything that is the opposite of God is a demonic entity. The second gift was power, the ability to control your life and have it go the way it was created to. The power is in your mind. That is also why the 4th gift, and I'll go back to the 3rd, that is also the 4th gift that God gave us was a sound mind. Sound meaning having the ability to make good choices or good decisions for your life. That leaves a peaceful sound in your mind. And the 3rd one is love. That is the ability to reflect your creator upon yourself and to love it, then to love others. So these 4 gifts, God promises us that we have, and they are real. He gave us these 4 specific promises because they all have something to do with your mind. A sound mind, having love, having power, being fearless. God knows that your being comes from your mind. The way you be is reflected in what you see inside your mind. So it is vitally important that you understand these words. It is vitally important that you understand the process And therefore, you'll remove the emotions from things and you'll be able to move forward smoother. And it still will be difficult in sometimes, but you'll have the knowledge and the wherewithal. You'll have the foresight to know what to do. You'll have the outcome already. So that'll give you a lot of peace of mind. So knowing these things creates new information for your brain to process. And during this processing stage, we become closer to knowing thyself. The self is tested, shaped, and molded, tested, shaped, and molded repeatedly throughout the time from when we're born to the time we die. And this all stems from the bad karma and trauma we suffer in our childhood. So in other words, when you are born, you're born free. You're born fearless. You're born powerful. You're born with love, and you're born with a sound mind. Now, of course, you're a baby newborn. You don't know how to use these things properly all the time, but you're born with them. And as you grow older and experience traumatic things, then it's as if your brain has been kidnapped by your true self. Your brain has been kidnapped by the trauma and taken away from you being your true self. So when trauma comes into play, especially when it's left undealt with, again, your divine mind, which is your true self, it is being kidnapped and held hostage with a ransom. So in other words, you lose the true sense of who you are, and you're energetically drawn to chosen experiences that continue to reveal this truth to you. So again, it's the energy. When you're traumatized and it's not properly treated or healed, then that energy that you put with that feeling that's related to the trauma will sit in your mind, and it will ultimately sit in your body, and it will cause you to become sick. It will cause you to become lost. It will cause you to become depressed. And that is when the dark night of the soul is best for you, because the dark night of the soul takes you through that depression. It takes you through all of those things. Okay. So our thoughts really do create our reality. So if you think you will never forgive someone for hurting you, then most likely you won't. Even worse, they may have forgiven themselves, moved on, and repented from it, and their outcome will be blessings and glory, which will seem unfair to you, but that's just how the cookie crumbles. That's just how it rolls. Because they asked for forgiveness. You may not have given it to them. They've repented. You may not have accepted it or seen it, and they've changed their ways. You don't care because you pushed them out of your life. You're still angry. You're still holding a grudge, and now you're shutting your heart down. Who do you think the divine source or the energy is going to produce a better blessing for them? Now, they may have done you wrong, and you may have done them right, but because it's karma, now they're being treated wrong, but in their process of being treated wrong, which is you leaving them or you ignoring them or whatever, they're repenting. So they're changing their mind on what should be done to you or by them in the future, which is what the energy of the universe responds to in a positive manner. Your negative energy, hurt, pain, bitterness, angry, frustration, unforgiveness, will turn into negative energy, and the universe will produce that back to you as well. So you'll get another person who does the same thing. Well, they'll get somebody that's the same as you, and they'll be blessed. And that's how this works. That's why it is so utterly important that we understand how powerful our words are, how powerful our thoughts are, and that everything that we go through serves a divine purpose, something greater than us. Something greater than us is always going on. Something always is going on that's greater for us. Okay, so because I mentioned those things, this is why we must always forgive those that trespass against us. Let them enjoy their karma or universal whooping that they're going to get. When you don't release the spirit of unforgiveness, when you don't release the spirit of unforgiveness, it will follow you all the days of your life, until you do. So again, like I repeat, like I was telling you in that story, they may have done all of these things. You may not forgive them. They've trespassed on you, but they repented. So they'll be blessed before you because you haven't forgiven them. So you must forgive those that trespass against you. Number two, let go. Letting go means you have forgiven and you no longer desire to change anything about the situation. You understand it now. Its reason has transformed your mind and you seek greater wisdom for yourself. And number three, love still. Even after trauma, we need to continue to allow the flow of the spiritual blood. We need to allow the flow of the spiritual blood flow to go through our hearts. Blocking that spiritual blood flow will ultimately make you sick. Love is the cure for this. Trauma recovery, God is love. Love is the cure for this. Your trauma recovery. Love is the cure for your trauma recovery. God is love. So loving still is still having faith in God's divine will to be done within you. So yes, this person may have hurt you, but you know that loving still reflects the God in you. Hating reflects the evil in you. And that evil may have come from being with them, but you have allowed them to overpower your spirit. And remember what the spirit is. Okay. You have allowed this person to overcome that part of which carries the energetic vibrations of your truth. So that vibration goes into the universe, and that is what the universe produces back to you. So what is going on in your Akashic records? Why are you stuck in one spot in your life, unable to find the answers to the 20-year-old questions you have? Do you know there are much greater things for you in this world, but you just can't seem to figure out what they are and how to get them? Is your trauma so bold and taking over your mind that you know you need help? Taking it back. Do you have a deep longing for spirituality? Does life seem just simply fucked up to you? Well, that's because of what's called the dark night of the soul, the universal light to your soul's lonely and painful darkness. So it is what the Akashic records will help guide you through so you won't be alone or feel alone. And honestly, we're never alone because the universal forces are always with us. And as we elevate through the dark night of the soul, this is always or often shown to us. So the records give you clarity. They give you a sense of security. They give you confidence. And they guide your journey through explanation of your soul's contract as well as karmic contract. They prepare you for the battle that you are in or about to be in. The battle is never yours to fight, but that of the law of the universe, or Lord. Lord means law. Karmic ties must be broken. Contracts completed or also broken. Your divine right is to be free and have a peace of mind. It is your divine right. Getting your Akashic records read will give you all the answers your soul's questions have had. It will give you a visual, divine helping hand. The records speak for themselves. They just ask that you ask them the right questions. So, again, your Akashic records is your book of life. It details everything about you, everything, past, present, future experiences. It guides you along your spiritual awakening process, which is you becoming awakened to the truth of who you are. And that's done through the process of the dark night of the soul. So I hope that this helped you. If you are interested, excuse me, if you are interested in getting that tarot read, then I am going to ask that you go on my Facebook tarot page. It's Tarot with a Twist. So it's facebook.com/Tanya's Tarot Reading. Facebook.com/Tanya's Tarot Reading. Now you'll go on that page, and what you'll do is, and you can also follow me on Facebook on my regular trauma recovery room page as well. And that's facebook.com/Coach Tanya's Tribe, and that's Tanya with an O, not an A. But when you go on my Tarot with the Twist page, you're going to go, first you're going to like the page and share it. If you do that, you're going to get a free mini love reading. A free mini love reading. In addition to that, you're going to make your appointment. Now, the Akashic record reading is not free, and neither is the Akashic Oracle reading. But if you like and share the page, you'll get a free extra gift to go along with the information. So the love reading may actually complement the Akashic record because you may be going through some relationship issues. The love reading can also be with the relationship with yourself or relationship with somebody. If you choose not to do the love reading and just want an intuitive reading, you can get that as well. Or if you choose to do a chakra reading or karma reading, you can get that as well. But you're going to go on that website. Again, my Facebook page, facebook.com/Coach Tanya's Tribe. Excuse me, I'm sorry. You're going to go on facebook.com/Tanya's Tarot Readings. Tanya's Tarot Readings. And then again, you're going to like and share the page. That's going to get you the free mini reading. Then you're going to go to services or appointments, and you're going to book an appointment. We'll go through services because the services will allow you to book that appointment on that day. Once you book that appointment, I am going to send you a link for you to make your payment. And when you make your payment, it takes 24 to 48 hours for the turnaround for both the Akashic record reading and the Akashic record oracle reading. The Akashic oracle reading. So 24 to 48 hours. But once you make your payment, I send you an email for you to answer some questions, and then you'll send those back. And once I get that back from you, I do my ritual process. I prepare for your readings. And then, like I said, within 24 to 48 hours, depending on the day, but typically 24 to 48 hours, I have them done. You'll get your results of your reading. If you decide that the reading was beneficial to you, the oracle reading was beneficial for you, and now you want to move to the next step, which is to figure out how to fix all this shit. I have put my website for you to go on to, for you to then book you a 60-minute free 60 minutes. That's a lot of minutes, a lot of free minutes. But I'm dedicating those free minutes to you if you're serious about getting to the bottom of what the Akashic records are revealing to you, the traumatic areas, the problem areas. So I help you to identify what's holding you back emotionally, in your mind, in your thoughts, in your feelings. And I help you to strategically eliminate whatever that problem is. So I have online courses, programs, and so many other things that you can join. You can do a la carte programs. You can do 3-day event programs. I have a 5-day event program that's coming up. I have my 12-week program, signature program. I also do one-on-one coaching, all kinds of things. So there's something for you to do if you're really serious and want to get through that. So understanding what Akashic records are, knowing that the Akashic oracle readings are both now available to you, can help you to explore your journey of transformation in a much safer space. So that's all I have for you today. I definitely want to thank you so much for showing me your support, your love, and joining me today. This is definitely a video that I believe is beneficial. So I hope that it gave you some information or gave you some light or some clarity. Again, if you have more questions, you're more than welcome to take that 60 minutes to, because that's pretty much what the strategy call is anyway. Just questions to find out what your goals are and things of that nature. So you're more than welcome to set up that 60-minute strategy call free. Again, it's free. So that we can come to grips with the conclusion of what's going on behind the scenes. I'm a behind the scenes type of person, and that's just my gift, because behind the scenes is where the truth lies. So again, this is your girl, Coach Tanya, aka Tanya the Tarot Lady. This is Tarot with a Twist, presented by the Trauma Recovery Room. And I just want to say I'm out. And I thank you so very much. Have a good day, and I will see you on the next video.